Welcome to the PT Legends podcast, where co-host Dave Bess and myself, Scott Carpenter, share our journey and secrets of success. From our humble beginnings as personal training employees of a big box gym to struggling studio owners that have made every mistake in the book, to where we are now, the owners of a multi-seven-figure business operating multiple personal training studios internationally, and now coach and mentor to fitness professionals in 5 countries and counting. This is our story, and these are our secrets. Subscribe to our podcast, learn, take action, and build your own fitness empire. Welcome to the PT Legends podcast. I am Scott.
Dave, clocking in.
For another episode. If you're just listening to this, you don't get to see my sweet shirt. It's my Barbarian, and it's Conan the Barbarian on it, who's got a barbell with skulls on each side.
You're doing some push-ups before this podcast, too, to look proper.
I'm a huge Arnold fan. I love Arnold. I got like all his movies on DVD. I even remember when I moved to Scottsdale, I had to have somebody watch my dogs. Right, in the same apartment complex, and they were like really excited because they're like, "Oh, sweet! This is back when DVDs were a thing, right?" And they got really excited because like, "Oh, sweet! All these DVDs we get to see," and they're like all Arnold films, and she was heartbroken.
What's your favorite Arnold film?
You know, I do really love Conan the Barbarian. I really love Conan the Barbarian, but I don't know. That's probably not my favorite.
Mine is Kindergarten Cop.
Dude, that's funny. That is a good movie. Detective John Kimball. I'm a cop, you idiot. Oh, man. I love Arnold. Anyways, let's get to what we're talking about. Facebook ads are dead.
In the graveyard.
Dead. They're gone. Bold claim. Okay. But here's the thing, guys. You need to act right now like Facebook ads are dead. So we work with a lot of gyms all across the world, right? In the United States, all across in different markets, in Canada, in the UK, and Ireland. Like just anybody in the English-speaking world, they're experiencing very, very, very similar things with Facebook. Some, very few places, are still seeing success with a lot of the Facebook ads they're used to running. Others are eating it hard. And it's very difficult to get in leads, and the quality of them is very low. And that's another thing. It's not just it's way more expensive and the ads aren't working anymore, but if the quality is like dog shit. And part of it, guys, is the iOS update that they did, where, what was that, 5-6 months ago?
6 months ago,
yeah.
Yep.
And where they can't really track users as well, right? That just totally threw a wrench into things. Things that were working beautifully, just overnight, click, boom, doesn't work anymore.
That's the tip of the iceberg too. It's changed drastically. It seems every single month since then too.
Yeah. And you know, we've got a few professionals that we work with, and we are coming across things that are hitting. Not universally in every market. Some markets certain things are going to work, some are not. But here's one thing that is true across the board. It is multiple times more expensive than it was years ago. And it is way more difficult. The market has been played out with certain key plays that traditionally work. And the frustrating thing is, guys, it's really hard to get a good message out there because that is not the stuff that tends to get the leads. It's the fast, the cheap things that still work. Those are also the ones that are a little bit harder to build a solid relationship with too.
You know, nobody likes, and this is coming from our mindset. We always really preach, hey, have a positive mindset going into discovery calls with Facebook leads. It's very difficult to do. It's not fun gardening the Facebook leads.
Yeah.
I mean, just getting them on a discovery call, like we teach our Legends clients how to take the doctor frame and how to basically get out of that conversation without them asking the price. but it's two completely different conversations. Like I feel, we talked before that offensive defense. I still feel very defensive the majority of the time dealing with any type of Facebook lead.
Yeah. Well, half of them think it's free.
Yep.
Right. Even though you can be very, very clear in your ad and your landing page. But they'll still get that because, again, some of these bait and switch things have been played out a little bit. So it's a tough game. It's a tough game. The leads are hard to work with. They're very cold because people are just scrolling through like, oh, that looks interesting. Maybe I'll do that. Versus getting out in front of somebody who's just like, hey, putting their hand up, I need to change something in my life.
That's it.
Those are the leads that are way more fun to work with, way easier to work with. And that's what you got to go for. And that kind of brings us to our next point. But first, with these Facebook ads, guys, at the end of the day, okay, and this is coming from Russell Brunson, right, the ClickFunnels guy. At the end of the day, the business who can afford to pay the most for a lead will eventually always win. All other things being equal, okay? The company who can pay the most to acquire a client will eventually win out. And that's true. So number one, before we get to what strategy do you want to take if these Facebook ads completely take a dive off because of all the big money also coming into it, right? But the bottom line is you need to have something worth selling. If you're just selling a $150 a month membership, and that's where it's coming from, you can't afford to pay that much for a lead. You just can't.
Even like a semi-private, like a 400 or even an 800 a month.
Right. Yeah. I mean, bottom line is what's your cost per lead? How many ghost you? How many to get on phone calls? How many can get into your doors? How many no-show you? And then are the ones that actually show up, how many close? And what's that average dollar amount? And then what's your labor coming out of that, right? So whether you're paying sales commission or however you're delivering the workouts in group or semi-private or one-on-one. And the bottom line is, guys, with the cost per leads in a lot of markets, that is a really hard way to go about it. And it's already borderline in many cases of not being profitable for a lot of people. So the bottom line is, if you're charging $150 a month or so, you are going to get drowned in this marketplace. If you're not already there, it's going to get there very, very soon. And you're probably already feeling that. If you're charging $3,000 for something like what we do for an 8 to 12 week program, $3,000 that can be delivered in a group, or maybe even a little bit more for semi-private, right? If you're charging that, you can afford to spend a lot of money per lead. So Facebook marketing, for most of the gyms that come to us needing help, Facebook marketing is not already working for them. It can work for you if you're actually charging some kind of a price that can support it. That's the bottom line. That being said, though, what also is important, guys, you have to act as if Facebook leads are never going to work again. Okay? Do not rely on anything. And I think you guys already know this. At the bottom of your heart, you know this because you've had an ad that just like, oh man, this is awesome. Even though it's a lot of work and a lot of pain in the butt and blah, 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 but you had an ad that's just bringing in leads. You're like, this is sweet. This is so easy. And then it just died, right?
And then you fight like a dog to try to find the next one. And so you pour in all this energy. I need to find the next one. I need to find the next one. And it's stressful and it causes a lot of anxiety. And until we had this mindset shift that we've had, like it's very new to where it's like, no, Facebook's done. It's dead. It's over with. Let's pivot. Let's go after a meat and potato strategy. Go out, shake hands, kiss babies, get your message out there.
Oh, you need an organic strategy, guys. And holy cow, like our people are crushing it on this. So Taryn signed up the 8K. I think that was a virtual one too, right? 8K executive program. Yep. This is the 9-week program, guys, virtually 8K. Then within a month or a week, I can't remember, he got his, by the 6 week.
6 week check-in.
Yeah, so we have a process where we get reviews for Yelp and all that. We get all that. We get reviews and testimonials from your clients. We also get referrals from your clients and the renewal at the same time. So he had written down his wife, and then they had a conversation, got his wife, 6K right there. And then,
Who's his friend?
It was his friend. Okay, that's I didn't know if it was
Yep.
an employee or whatever. His friend did the 4K one. And, okay, so that's, and his him and his wife at least, the 8 and the 6K, that's 8 and 6K every 9 weeks. They also committed to 12 months. Boom. So I don't know what it's somewhere 60 to 60-ish, 70-ish $1,000
commitment
that she's going to make this year from that. And plus then the 4K every 9 weeks from this guy. He didn't agree to 12 months. He just started. But bottom line is, all of this came from her posting one post that engaged somebody. That was it. The lead was free. And she will make, even if this guy doesn't renew, she's somewhere between 70 and 80 grand more she's going to make.
From one Facebook post.
From one Facebook post. And here's the killer thing, guys. The fulfillment on this, it's totally virtually. It's not even in her gym. It's 15 minutes, a 15-minute phone call every week for each one of them. It costs her 45 minutes a week to take home at least 70 to 80 grand, if not more, depending on how he renews. Boom. I don't know. Like, that should blow your mind. Mm-hmm. That should blow your mind. And if you're listening and you're hearing this, it's not bullshit. If you want to talk to Taryn, she'd be happy to share this exact thing. Or at the very least, we can send you the screenshots when she's telling our group about this. Guys, it's not a far-fetched thing, okay? You can do this. If that didn't get like you all excited and realize, holy shit, I need to learn how to do this, you need to wake up. Because it's getting really tough out there. There is a middle-class squeeze going on. Ad costs are going crazy, okay? Things just aren't working. A change of an algorithm like Apple did, bam, stuff that could have worked for you for a year, it's useless now. Don't die a slow death. Things like this are what's going to get you through it, and not just so you survive, but you thrive. You need to learn how to do this. I know it sounds a little out there. It sounds like, holy shit, I can't do that, or that's so lucky. Guys, all our legends, all our PT legends are doing this every single week. Every single week, you need to learn how to do it. Otherwise, you're just playing a very, very risky game of dying and bleeding out a very slow death.
And that's not fun. It's relying on that one Facebook unicorn. It's never been fun. And until you look in the mirror and say, you know what, this is not the game that I want to play, the game that I want to play. And most of the gym owners we work with, they've been in business for 6, 8, 10, 12 years. So they have a large following of people in their community already that they're friends with. Why now, is it uncomfortable? And we'll talk about this in a second. Is it uncomfortable getting on a Facebook Live? Is it, I mean, that's uncomfortable. Is it uncomfortable when you first start getting on your soapbox and talking about how weight loss isn't about weight loss, there's something more? Of course that's uncomfortable. But it's also uncomfortable relying on that Facebook ad and all of the crap that causes too.
Makes me sweat. I hate it.
You have to pick. Are you going to get on your soapbox and be a Tony Robbins and build something and lead your community? Or are you going to rely on the Facebook unicorn?
Yep.
That's the two options.
You've got to start building your organic following, guys. That's it. You have to do it. You can do that in conjunction with the ads, but oh my God, it's so much easier and so much better when you do it organically. And we've been seeing this. So we've been starting to do this with PT Legends.
Yep.
Right? And, you know, if there's one thing that you guys got to know about Dave and I is that we walk the walk, right? We don't talk the talk. We actually do the things that we recommend. And we own successful gyms. We've made all these pivots. We have multiple gyms. And that's where we first started. PT Legends was built by accident, guys, because our results were so amazing that other gyms are like, hey, can you teach me how to do this with my business model, whether it's CrossFit, whether it's PT, whether it's whatever. And we said, sure, we'll give it a shot. And then they blew up, and then they referred their friends, and they blew up. And all of a sudden, we had to create systems and processes and videos and a very strong mentoring system, which we have. But we didn't set out to build a business like this. Bottom line is, we're gym owners like you. We've done this. We've made the pivots, and we're seeing benefits with us, our clients, our staffs, our families, our freedom, everything. You need to learn how to do this. So we don't want to drag it on too long, Dave, but like Let's talk about some action items on like an organic strategy, just so they can get started like right now.
Get on your damn Facebook and do a live right after this podcast.
Yeah.
Talk about what your passion, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. So I'm a bit of a perfectionist. People that know me know that, right? I don't like to put out subpar work. I really take a lot of pride in doing it, but it can hold you back. Being a perfectionist can be a bad thing because you're very careful about it and this and that. Get on live. We just discussed this on our Wednesday call. They're like, well, can we do a video if it's not on live? I said, certainly. But here's the problem with that sometimes is that you'll set it up, you'll know what you want to talk about, and you'll be talking, and then all of a sudden you'll scramble a couple words and you'll mess up, and then you'll be like, shit. And then you'll hit the stop button, and then you'll hit record again, and you'll stumble again, and you're like, shit. And then it takes you, to do like a 5-10 minute video, it will take you 45 minutes of hell. Then you're second guessing and doubting. You're like, oh, finally I made it through. And then it was an awful experience, and then you will never do it again.
And it doesn't come out genuine, too.
Right. That's what we talked about. Like, if we don't nail a video, like if we're actually doing something, if we're recording a purposeful video and something, if we don't hit it by our second or third try, it just sucks because then we're trying to repeat what we said, and it doesn't come off organic and true, and it sounds scripted. And bottom line, guys, just get on a live and start talking. Tell a story about one of your clients who's super inspiring. Tell your own story. Tell about your own failures. Guys, just tell stories. So the first thing that you can do, get on your Facebook and just do a live. There might not be anybody watching. That's another thing, the fear that like, oh, people are going to think this is shit or nobody's going to be on there. Great. When we go on our lives, first of all, because we're on it in different places, we do it through our Zoom. So I don't even have the likes and comments and things or anything that come up. I don't even know if anybody's watching it live.
Our wives.
Our wives, probably, yeah. But it doesn't matter because so many people see it afterwards. It's a living asset that lives on your page. And, if you talk about a really awesome topic, then what you can do, if you're talking to somebody, tag them in there. Put @ and then put their name in the comment section. And you can let them know, hey, I want you to watch this video. I think you'll find it very helpful. And then they're going to see somebody genuine, sharing a story, giving some information, connecting, whatever it is. And they're going to get a sense of who you are and the fact that you care. And guys, people want that. People don't want to interact with frigging automated bots. They can smell that shit. It's annoying. It just is. Like I love to have stuff automated, but it's easy to have things over automated, where you're talking to a robot and they don't give a shit about you. Trust is a currency nowadays. So bottom line is get on a live. And then the second thing you can do, make sure you friend all your clients. Friend all your clients right away, okay? Start liking and commenting on their posts, okay? And then make a live or a story, put it out there on one of their journeys. Right? And if you want to tag them in it, tag them in it. But the bottom line is the algorithms are going to pick this stuff up. Okay? It might not look like anybody's watching your shit. It still is like that for me. Okay? I don't get tons of likes and comments because a lot of what I post, it's not like asking for engagement.
Yep.
I am so surprised at how many people see my stuff. I mean, I can go to a local gym that I have a membership to down the street, and I have 2 or 3 people that say they watch my stuff all the time, which I was blown away by. And I just talked to one of my buddies, shout out to P, Prashant, from way back when I used to live in Chicago, and we connected for the first time in a long time. And like, he's seen all my stuff. And it's just like, you just have no idea. Guys, don't worry if the likes aren't there. Don't worry if the comments aren't there. People are watching, or they will start watching.
It's powerful too, because nobody's doing it. Like you mentioned, we live in a bot world, right? We live in, like, people are used to Facebook ads too. They're used to the 6-week challenge. Like they don't like that. Number one, it takes some guts to get on a Facebook Live and to tell your story, and people connect with that, even if they don't like you. I mean, how many lives have I'm like, man, this guy, I don't really like him, but he's going live every single day. I'll tune into a live. I did that this morning with a guy I really don't agree with much, but he does his lives 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I listen to his messaging. Like people want to hear stories. They want to hear someone on a soapbox talking about something genuine and real. And the beautiful thing is if you do have a transformational offer, right? Then you're not just talking about workouts and nutrition. Like you're talking about, a client's journey, how they started the journey and they started it, to lose 30 pounds, but they started it because they wanted to be, a better dad. And over the course of 6 months, they put in all of this work. And for the first time in their life, they feel like the best version of themselves, the best dad they can be. Then all of a sudden, someone on your Facebook page who's a dad, boom, they connect with that messaging. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, that dad who connects with the messaging, they're following up and you enjoy the process of reaching back out. And then when you set up that discovery call, the guy cries because he already knows he's going to sign up and he sends you over some bomb whys. And then you set up that perfect consultation. And maybe the guy lives 3 zip codes down and you don't even have to have him come into your gym for the workouts. And then he signs up just like Taryn. And then his experience is so great. And he starts becoming that ultimate dad. And then his wife joins up. Then all of a sudden they send you 4 or 5 more. And it's all because you got on your soapbox and you told a story and you connected with someone. It will spread. This is the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, this is the future. And at the same time, this is the past. Stories are everything. Like that's how human beings connect with each other. That is how human beings motivate and inspire. That's how they can charge hand in hand at an army of like 5,000 people with swords and pikes. Like It's all about stories. Stories are what unite us. Stories are what motivate us. Stories are what gets us through hard times. It's been like that with every single culture on this entire planet. And just think, remember when you watch that one movie and you're just pumped up, ready to run through
Braveheart.
Braveheart, freedom. Like, absolutely. And you can like get chills if you really think about that scene in that movie. Yeah. Like, stories motivate people. Get out and tell yours. And it's not just yours. Tell yours, but tell your clients. Just tell stories. That's about it. Like, get out there and friggin' do it. I know it's uncomfortable. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Do I fear judgment? Yeah, absolutely. Just like anybody does. I might say something stupid or they might not agree or whatever. I might stumble or might think I'm an idiot. But guys, do it.
And you're going to get better at it too. Like our podcast from episode 1 to now.
Yeah, just don't even look at, don't even listen to them. Don't go back and listen to them. I'm sure they suck horribly.
They probably weren't that bad. But my point is, like, we get so used to now putting in reps. Like, I'm going to do my Sunday sermon live. You're going to do your Soapbox Monday live because live means it's real.
Yeah. 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 So we're going to leave it there, guys. The challenge is listen to this episode. Get on a Facebook Live. It doesn't matter if you're in the car, you're going for a walk, you're getting yogurt, you're about to hit a workout, you're sitting down for admin. Just hit the live button and go. That's our challenge to you today. So that'll be it, Dave.
Let's clock out.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for listening, guys. We're going to see you on the next episode of the PT Legends podcast. Dave and myself, Scott, would love to thank you for tuning in and listening to the PT Legends podcast. You can get direct access to us by joining our free Facebook group. Go to www.facebook.com/groups/7-figure personal trainer. That's 7-figure personal trainer with the number 7. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you can keep on learning and keep on living. Finally, if you picked up any tips whatsoever in this episode that you found helpful, be sure to leave us a review and tell us what you like best about it. Can't wait to see you on the next episode.